Good morning. That last session was fantastic. I enjoyed listening to that. That was really good. The Elevate Events team gave me 20 minutes to wrap everything up, talk about data. I said 20 minutes. How about an hour? People don't need lunch that bad. We can throw pieces of pizza when people get hungry from the stage. We'll talk about it for an hour. Nope, 20 minutes. So that's what we have. As the voice said, my name is John Murphy. I'm the president of the core business at ATPCO. And let's talk a little bit about what we've heard over the last day and a half, and particularly in that last segment. I like to think about the ambition that we all have today into several different areas. There's a build on this. I'm just going to build it out here. We're all looking to improve. We've all talked about continuous pricing. We've talked about dynamic offers. We've talked about dynamic bundling. We've talked about how we get better personalization. We umbrella all of those terms into a concept called modern airline retailing. But why are we actually pursuing these things? What are the reasons behind what we talk about these things? We can't forget about what's driving each of those concepts and each of those initiatives in our organization. Certainly, increased revenue and profitability is top of mind. Greater control over the customer experience is something we hear often. More agility and adaptability in the marketplace. As things change faster, we all need to adapt faster to the marketplace. Certainly in that last session, hearing about how AI is going to transform the way people shop is going to change the way that we have to respond as an industry to that demand. Competitive differentiation. How do we position ourselves in a competitive marketplace with products and services that differentiate ourselves and make consumers want to choose our products? And lastly, I think at the top of the list, and again, I think excellent conversation in that last session, was better customer service. How do we drive better customer service so that customers not only understand what they're purchasing, but each step along the journey is a positive experience for them. And when they think about the journey that they have, they want to choose those products and services again. All of these things are also driving better customer service. But what fuels all of this? What makes this go? We talk about AI, we talk about machine learning, we talk about the importance of automation. But behind all this is data. Data is literally the fuel for AI and modern airline retailing. Without good data, without an understanding of customers and their behavior and our products and services, how they look in the marketplace, who purchases them and when, no data, no fuel, no progress. I think that the challenge for this industry today is that, in particular, revenue management and pricing and distribution are not quite yet prepared for that future. We talk about these things, and we understand the importance of them, and we understand the outcomes that we're trying to drive. But without that critical data, not only an airline's own data, but an understanding of the marketplace that we all compete in is critical to achieving those objectives. So I'm going to start with a question. And if you pull out your app and go to the session, there's a poll in there. And I'd like each of you to respond to the question, which statement best describes your current data situation? I have all the data I need. My organization has the data that I need somewhere, but I can't easily get to it. Or all the data that I need is out there somewhere, but I struggle to get to it. "42% said that my organization has all the data that I need, but I can't easily access it." That is a very common challenge that we hear in the industry, that sharing data and accessing data to build and train AI models, to build better offers, to accomplish the objectives that we've talked about, is a challenge not just from an industry perspective, but accessing the data within your own organization can be a huge challenge as well. ATPCO can help with that, and we'll talk about that as well. 47% say the data is out there in the industry, I just can't get to it. This is also I think, a common problem. I don't think that we as an industry even know all the types of data that we need yet to be successful. How many of you do A/B testing on your direct website in order to see how customers will respond to certain offers or certain positioning on a page or things? And how many of you have run an A/B test, gotten some results, and then a week or two later, run the exact same test and got a completely different set of results? Right? That happens, and it usually happens because we don't understand the context of the test that we did. We're missing some data about the environment in which the test was conducted that needs to be added to the next set of tests in order to learn. We often find that working with airlines that the data is often, it's stuck in silos within organizations. It's not fit for purpose. We find a lot of challenges where one part of an organization will have the data, but they can't get access to the data, or the data is not in a format that they can make use of, or it's not timely, it's old, or it hasn't been integrated with the other pieces of data that they need in order to use it. There are security concerns or governance concerns between organizations, even between JV partners with data, and even within an organization to share data effectively within the organization. And there's no real commonly accepted industry approach to how we as an airline industry collect and distribute data comfortably with each other, appropriately with each other, in order to raise the bar in terms of what's possible with creating better offers in the marketplace and achieving modern airline retailing through AI and machine learning. Today, airlines and vendors are spending a lot of money to solve these problems. We talked to many airlines that have internal initiatives in order to centralize data within the organization, to share data more effectively, to document the data. We think that industry data plays a particular role in that many organizations are trying to solve their own data problems within their organization today. But as they go further, that they recognize that an understanding of the industry environment in which they are operating in is just as crucial as understanding the data that they have within their organization today. I think that the good news is that ATPCO literally exists to solve this problem in the industry within pricing and revenue management. We are the industry's trusted partner. We're airline owned. We're aligned with your interests, and we know and understanding the data. So ATPCO's strategy is really shifting from providing the data that is required to create offers to collecting and providing the data that's required to create better offers. And that's very important for us. We believe that we're in an ideal position to curate that data, to assemble that data, to enrich it, and to partner with other industry organizations in order to make that data widely available to you, ensure that it's relevant to your revenue management and pricing needs, and that you're able to create more effective and better offers from it and understand the performance of those offers once they're in the marketplace. How do we think about data at ATPCO? This slide, I think, was used in one of the sessions yesterday, but at ATPCO, data to create better offers we put that into 4 buckets. We call it offer data, or what does the competitive landscape look like? What is available for purchase in the marketplace? Order data, what is actually being purchased? What offers are being sold in the marketplace? Traveler data, what personas or types of people are actually making those purchases? And then economic data, what things are influencing that purchase behavior? What things are creating the decision-making behind that person's thought process or the agent's process in order to create that purchase? What is influencing demand and what is influencing that behavior? Currently at ATPCO, we are working very hard on the first 2 items, offer and order. 3 Victors is our offer product, integrating shopping data into a marketplace picture. We have several sessions, both yesterday and today, describing how we collect shopping data in order to create that complete market picture. We believe that there are many, many use cases that support industry-wide data sets for this type of data. offer optimization, improved demand forecasting, product performance, network planning, consumer behavior modeling are all examples of things that can be solved with good industry data sets around offers, orders, travelers, and economic influences. There are also other problems that we believe that ATPCO expertise and data can help the industry solve. There is a top-of-funnel look-to-book problem. There are challenges with getting good data and good sources of integrated information into machine learning models to train new capabilities and new revenue management decisions. All of those are areas where ATPCO can play a role to help your organization overcome those challenges that we've talked about. So another question, what is your organization's strategy to optimizing pricing, brands, and dynamic offers? So most people tend to fall in the second two categories. It's good to see that the smallest category is I don't know what data I need or I don't have a data strategy yet. If you're in that bucket, I think that it's probably very important that you start to think about what data that you're going to need to drive these outcomes. Collect and store the data we need ourselves and or leverage vendor partners or partnering with industry organizations. ATPCO believes that both of those are important and that we can help you with both of those. If you are struggling with data internally and are looking for ways to make better use of that data, to combine it with data that ATPCO provides the industry in ways that create new insights, to provide ways to distribute that data to your partners or to other teams within your own airline, ATPCO can help with that. If you are looking for more industry data sources, industry-wide understanding of what the competitive marketplace looks like, ATPCO can help with that too. So how do we do that? There are a few value propositions that we have around data. Certainly data refinement. How do we clean up the data, remove duplicates, remove unneeded elements, remove things that aren't required? We have gained a lot of experience with the Three Victors relationship at how we can use machine learning and AI to clean up data sets. Shopping data is very difficult to work with, but Rick and his team have done an excellent job at creating approaches to take very complicated data sets and find the signal out of the noise of that data set and make it useful. Data consolidation. ATPCO has many data products, and we're working on several others at the moment that take multiple sources of data, that throw away things that are bad, that combine elements from different data sources to create a unique and richer data set, to manage those things together, to assemble that. We have an assembled data product. If you're struggling to make use of the traditional fair world and how that data fits together and represents the marketplace, we have an assembled data product that takes the complicated assembly of that data out of the picture and presents it in a way that is much easier to be consumed and to build automation around. We do data augmentation where we find missing data in data sets, but because we have lots of other data sets available to us, we can pull data from one data set and augment it in another to round out the richness of the data set that's available. And because ATPCO is airline owned and because we work as partners with the airline industry, we can provide data governance and security that is aligned to the unique needs of each of your organizations. So if there's one thing that you take away from the last couple of days, in addition to product catalog, think that ATPCO is able to deliver data at scale and the value of that data at scale, regardless of how you are going to consume that data, whatever your objectives are, your strategic objectives are around that data, you're going to need the data in order to create better offers, to create better customer service, to train those AI models, to react to the influence of AI agents in the future. Having an understanding of what's for sale, what's being purchased, not just from a price perspective, but the product attributes that made up that sale. All of those things are things that ATPCO is actively working on for the industry and can deliver at scale for the industry. If these are challenges that your organization has, I would ask you to reach out to your sales or account representative or reach out to myself or someone else at the conference today at ATPCO. We would be glad to talk to you about all the various things that we're doing today. We'd be glad to talk to you about ways in which we can help you solve these problems and ensure that you have access to the data that you need in order to be successful. There are a few sessions coming up this afternoon after lunch that talk more about the kinds of data solutions that ATPCO has. Certainly another Three Victors conversation. I mentioned assembled data. If you're interested in that, there's an assembled data session this afternoon, a session on optimizing airline pricing and strategies, and another one on offer creation. So after lunch, please attend the session that's appropriate for your interest, and certainly track someone down from ATPCO if we can help you solve some of these data challenges. One more housekeeping thing that I want to say is that after the afternoon sessions, everybody will come back here and we'll close out the day before we all go to the House of Blues, but we will close out the day with some insights and wrap up the conference in general. So after those afternoon sessions, come back here for 10 or 15 minutes and we'll close out the conference session. All right. Thank you very much, and looking forward to seeing many of you tonight.